Letter number 1, May 12th, 2024, Mother's Day. This silence is so fucking stupid. It's ridiculous and absurd, infuriating, frustrating and sad. And yet, I honor it. It takes everything I have not to break it. Yet somewhere deep down, I feel guided to honor it. In a way, it doesn't make sense. Well, none of this makes any sense to me, to be honest. There's a part of me that feels perfectly justified to break the silence, to text you, to express how I feel about the silence and everything else. And there is another part of me that feels as if I would just be acting out my anger and pain by doing that. So I choose what makes me most uncomfortable and most painful at the same time, and that's nothing. I choose to sit with it for one more day and reevaluate the next day. So one more day it is. Sunday, Mother's Day. I woke up in the middle of the night as I usually do and prayed for some guidance, some action, some outlet, something I can do while honoring this absurd situation. My guidance was letters. So here is the beginning of my letters to you. Not the you who is completely ghosting me right now, not that you, but the many other yous in there that do want to read this, that do care, that would cry with me and for me, and those yous I will tell you about. All those maybe forever lost yous that may never see the light of day again. Those yous who would send me flowers for Mother's Day, who would come get bagels and go to the beach with ML and me to honor the miracle of life coming out of someone's body. You've never wished me happy Mother's Day, never uttered the words. I always wondered why, always wanted to ask, never did. Maybe I should have. I figured you would let me know if you wanted to share when you were ready. I suppose you weren't. Back to our silence and how, according to Casey, you don't care. And trust me, I go there very frequently. I go there and fully entertain the possibility of you not caring about me at all. Those are very painful explorations that send me to a variety of places, including my deep wounded self, as well as to the opposite side of oneness, consciousness, and faith. Not necessarily destiny, but definitely faith. So where am I currently as far as you caring? Well, I have evidence of both, deep and kind and loving caring. And deep and kind, and unkind, deeply wounded, avoidant, uncaring. What's ironic is that this silence in a really strange way may represent both, the caring you as well as the uncaring you, which makes it that much harder. Last week this time I was on my way to the beach to get my things out while you were at the beach. I was calm, surrendered to what was. I wanted to see if you started to move any of my stuff. I found everything the exact same way as I left it. Not a single thing moved or put away. Not a single post-it removed. Toothbrushes on the mirror. Clothes in the closet. Looked like you hadn't changed the sheets yet, so I suppose I slept in those. I also don't think anybody else slept in that bed, in our bed, with our super soft blanket that we love so much. Zins everywhere, that made me laugh. And so many popsicle wrappers everywhere. My most favorite post-it, the one on the TV, and my letter to you when you came back from Chicago the first time, right there on the fridge. Did she ask you about any of those things? Why would you not take any of that down before having her over? Maybe it means nothing to you, maybe you don't even see it. I considered taking it all down, including ML's pics from the fridge, but it felt wounded and spiteful, so I left it. Perhaps you need it there. Perhaps there are parts of you that actually care, that feel something when you see it, or maybe it does not do much now, but maybe it will in the future. A soft reminder of love, an actual, deep, caring love that withstands the test of time and endures pain inflicted by wounds and ego, and stands still, and holds still, and waits, maybe not so patiently, but waits, regardless of all the creeping doubts and all the proof that none of it matters, that it's not real, that I may have made it all up. And that, in fact, you actually do not love me and don't care and don't want us in your life, because that's just how life goes here on this planet. Because people fall out of love all the time and move on and forget about each other and no longer care for each other. Yes, that sure is a very depressing possibility of reality. 9:30 p.m. And as I expected, you took me out like garbage. You texted me. You did not let me come back home. You did not let me talk to you in person. You speak of transparency, yet you continued with mixed messages. We spoke about our dogs, second floor. You said it's been hardest to imagine life without me, I guess until you got the wanted attention from someone else. So you've entered your own Dylan chapter. I understand. I wanted to forget you. I wanted to move on and start fresh, be loved in a new way, heard and seen. I was convinced I didn't love you anymore, and my current then version did not love you. I had convinced myself of that. I was willing to try. Only back then, you lived in Denver and not at my house. Only back then, we did not spend the majority of our time together. Back then, our love was something completely different than now, and ML really wasn't involved. Yet, you keep holding it against me. And now, you kick me out of what was also my home over text and don't even blink. Then you tell me you don't want to talk in person, that you need to be alone, and that it would be not fair, and that I deserve the truth. And then, after 12 days of silence, after we agreed that completely disconnecting is not the way to go, I come to you having someone in the house while everything has been left the way I left it when I left. That's not transparency. That's not honesty. It's actually the opposite of that. Yet, you will hide behind telling me you are open to other people's advances. Why didn't you let me get the stuff out of the house? How can you have all my love notes still there? Are you really that insensitive, or did I really not matter at all? You said you never loved anyone the way you love me. What happened to the love? How did you kill it? I know that love is hard. I'm fully aware that it's hard because it brings all the wounded pieces up for healing. And I know you don't want to deal with that. And I know you just want to feel better. And gosh, I hope you do. I really hope it works for you. But there's also the other side of that love. The magic, the softness, the being, the closeness, the simplicity and purity. The joy and the deep, deep intimacy. I just don't believe it can be replaced. I also don't believe it can be forgotten. And I don't believe it can be forced away. But maybe it can't. Maybe it can. Maybe you can cut it out and shut it down. We were just at the doorsteps of having it all, but I guess we weren't, because if we were, we would. And as we like to say, who knows what will happen and what the universe has in store for us. While I have a million doubts about love and life and faith and you, I still believe that what's meant to be will come around. You told me that you didn't believe that I stopped loving you. You said to me that deep down you believed I loved you, as in you believed that deep down in me I still loved you. Well, now it's my turn. I do believe that you don't love me now. I do believe that you don't want to be with me, and that maybe you can successfully love someone else. Yes, I believe you. But I also believe that you have done everything you could to convince yourself of this truth, which deep, deep down within you is actually not the truth. Because underneath it all, you love me so much that it scares the shit out of you, and you will do anything in your power to protect yourself. I get that. I have done that until it broke, and I chose to accept it instead and embrace it with all of my heart and all of my fears, because finally I could see what love was actually about and how deep it ran and what it actually meant and how wrong I was about it all along until you literally broke it out of me. So give it your best. It is very likely that if you ever find out that you actually love me, I will still be here. And all the teachings say we got exactly what we need to grow and evolve, right? To return to our true selves, which is love, loving kindness, and compassion, our loving nature. That is another reason why I don't believe that you... That is another reason why I do believe that you love me, actually love me. Because the level of unkindness and cruelty with which you have pushed me away, the way you have treated me under the label of transparency, honesty, and self-love is so beyond human decency that I just cannot believe and refuse to believe that that is actually who you are. And I know you're hurting and you are in so much pain, but that much more reason to have compassion for others. And while your words say, I don't want to hurt you and I can't see you hurting, your actions are like daggers. And yet, there are moments of complete tenderness and deep love and softness only to be buried again by layers of protection and armor. And maybe that's what you need to do to survive, and I get that too. And I will not love you any less because I love you beyond the ego. I love you beyond the protection and pain. And while it hurts, I love you that much more because I can see all of the pain that causes you to do what you do. Yes, instincts. I know you're following your instincts, and you should. They will eventually lead you out of it. Eventually, they will lead you away from protection toward life. For now, they lead where they lead you, and you have to honor them and follow them. You have to choose yourself over me because you were choosing me over you. The thing is, you can choose you and me at the same time. It's possible to do that. Maybe you'll come to that conclusion one day. Maybe one day you'll do something that will remind you of me and my love and how it made you feel. And you'll know you can choose us both. I also didn't think it was possible until it was. So yeah, that's that for this evening anyways. I can't force you to read this the same way you can't force me not to write it. And maybe you'll never read it, or maybe it will take years, but I am who I am, and this is my way of expressing my side of the truth, my side of love. You can never push me far, not too far, not with pain. You can't, because I love you, because I see you, and I love you. Beyond all the pain, with all your pain, and beyond my pain and with all my pain. And while the thought of my lips never touching yours is absolutely excruciating, there's always hope that maybe, just maybe, one day they will. As always, I love you forever and always. I love you for free. P.S. Emma has pubic hair now. It's crazy. We both got terribly burned at the beach today. I'm binge watching The Vampire Diaries between crying spells. I texted your mom for Mother's Day. She didn't reply. I also texted with Vera today and Jackie, which both sent me to some deep, very deep ends. I miss you terribly, I can't explain. And there's so much more, which I will tell you in my next letter. Kiss the cats for me. I held them both for the longest time when I was home. PS2. Of course, I can be wrong about absolutely everything.